During a recent rewatch of every Star Trek episode, it dawned on me that the casting directors for the 90s Trek shows must have been huge Seinfeld fans, because the amount of Seinfeld actors that show up is astounding. Starting of course with George Costanza himself, Jason Alexander, who plays one of the smartest beings in the galaxy in the Voyager episode Think Tank, after playing one of TV's most iconic dimwits.
You're not very bright, are you?
No, I'm not.
Always an authority figure, Richard Hurd plays George's boss at the Yankees, and also the Starfleet admiral who is Tom Paris's dad, among other Star Trek roles. Speaking of George's bosses at the Yankees, one of his other superiors is played by Tom Wright, who appears as Tuvix in the always controversial Voyager episode of the same name. Brian George can't seem to stay out of trouble, getting deported back to Pakistan in Seinfeld, and finding himself in a Starfleet penal colony for illegally modifying his son Julian Bashir's genome to make him smarter and stronger. Phil Morris really shows his range, playing the sleazy Johnny Cochran-inspired lawyer Jackie Childs on Seinfeld,
Lewd, lascivious, salacious, outrageous,
and heroic astronaut John Kelly on Voyager, along with numerous other Star Trek roles. Michelle Forbes plays badass Bajoran Starfleet Ensign Ro Laren, a recurring character in the later seasons of TNG, and Julie, a one-off character dating George who takes undeserved credit for the big salad he bought Elaine.
Here's your big salad.
Thank you, Julie.
At least according to George.
You had to have that big salad!
The actor who portrays Elaine's one-time boss, Ian Abercrombie, appears in a number of Star Trek episodes in various roles. George's rival Lloyd Braun is played by Matt McCoy, who plays a rival of sorts of Riker's on an episode of TNG and winds up losing to both of them. Gul Dukat's daughter Ziel had a traumatic childhood growing up half Cardassian and half Bajoran, and actress Melanie Smith was also traumatized by seeing George's shrinkage.
I was in the pool!
Of course, everyone remembers Terry Hatcher's appearance on Seinfeld, in which he spoke the iconic line,
They're real and they're spectacular.
but do you remember when she was a young Starfleet lieutenant entranced by the charms of the outrageous Okana? Susan Deal was on one episode of TNG, but more notably on Voyager, where her character developed a romantic relationship with the holographic Doctor, who incidentally had greater depth of character than her boyfriend George on Seinfeld, who couldn't get past her large nose.
I look at her, I see the nose.
This is not even an exhaustive list. There's Sarah Silverman, Estelle Harris, who plays George's mother, John Fleck, Kelly Waymer, and Tucker Smallwood. So many that it almost makes it seem as though Seinfeld is just a holodeck program being run by Riker and Troy. Like the much maligned series finale of Enterprise.